we'll be getting from the city. So if anybody lives nearby and has a large generator they would like to share or some new blankets and pillows, I'm told that would be a big help. In Georgetown, Shannon Ryan, Fox 7 Austin News.
All right, everybody, big thanks to our sister stations all across the country, but in particular the state of Texas, Fox 7 Austin, Fox 26 Houston, and Fox 4 in Dallas. Right now, we're going to head on over to South Austin, Texas, where Fox 7 Austin's John Krinjak is joining us again live. John, it looks like it's actively raining, or what are the weather conditions like out there?
Yeah, absolutely. Pilar, good morning to you. It is raining here in South Austin, and it's essentially freezing rain right now. This is kind of what the roads look like. They're a mess. Here, we really haven't seen the roads be plowed because we just don't see this kind of weather here. So we have leftover snow, we've got leftover ice, we've got leftover sleet, and then rain falling on top of it. You see these puddles here. Those aren't going to be puddles for very long. Those are going to be ice in a couple of hours from right now, because we are in the 20s right now, and we don't expect those temperatures to rise at least much above freezing today. So certainly treacherous conditions on the roads here, and just really a continuation of this weather pattern here in central Texas and really across the state of Texas that we haven't seen in a really long time, decades. And in fact, temperatures that we saw, low temperatures yesterday morning and on Monday morning, we just absolutely obliterated the record low temperature ever that we've seen here in Texas. So that is obviously adding insult to injury as crews try to restore power here. And that is obviously kind of the biggest story out of this storm, that no one really expected the scope of these power outages here too.
Yeah, John, you guys have Austin Energy out there. What's the latest? Is there hundreds of thousands without power? Or?
Yeah, hundreds of thousands just within the Austin area. Austin Energy is the big utility that covers the city of Austin. There's a few other utilities that cover surrounding areas, but they're all tied into the Texas grid. And that's really where the problem lies right now. The folks with the Texas grid, they're not getting enough power being generated. There's too much demand. There's too much, the grid is being taxed too heavily by all these people using their electric heat, using power that the grid is not used to. We heard from state officials yesterday that a big part of the problem really is the supply as well as the demand. Not just wind turbines freezing up, which we had heard in the past few days, but also nuclear power, natural gas, coal-fired power. All of those plants really not prepared for the level of snow and ice and freezing temperatures. So a lot of those went offline, and that's why we really saw this really dire situation, and frankly unprecedented situation where the power grid just couldn't handle the number of customers. And yeah, this morning we have Austin Energy has about 167,000 customers without power, but you go across the state of Texas, we're talking close to 3 million people still in the dark. And going into a third day, I'm without power right now. My apartment is 45 degrees, was 45 degrees when I left this morning. And, you know, I'm in my 30s, but you imagine people older, people with their pets, people with health conditions, and people whose apartments might not be insulated as well as mine. And it's really, really not a good situation. You have warming centers, but they're difficult to get to, and obviously concerns around COVID. So really kind of a perfect storm of conditions here, and you throw in the power outages, and it's really, really just an unfortunate scenario for a lot of people around here, Pilar.
John, is that the downtown Austin skyline behind you? Because I know a lot of cities have chose to go dark as a result of the power outages.
Yeah, that's a good question. That is a source of a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, a lot of just people out of sorts over, yeah, why does the skyline look like that? It's lit up like a Christmas tree, and it has been for the last several days here. And you have people sitting in their dark homes looking at that skyline. No one's working in there right now. All of these people are working from home. They're not driving into work, but you have these commercial buildings that are lit up. I don't know what, how much power they're consuming, but obviously you see all those lights on. The Travis County, which is where Austin, Texas is, issued an order ordering businesses to do more to conserve energy, but you really don't see that happening when you look at the skyline here. And Austin Energy officials, the power company itself, saying that they couldn't cut off power to downtown down because of what's on that circuit. The Texas State House, hospitals, COVID health centers, things like that. They say they could not cut off power to downtown. But when you talk to people around the state who are just shivering in their homes, that explanation really isn't satisfying them.
All right, Fox 7 Austin's John Krinjak, I would like for you to please get out of the freezing rain and warm up. So thank you to you and your photojournalist out there.
Got a truck right over there. I'll head there. We'll talk to you guys in a little bit.
All right, everybody, back out to Houston we go.
Under a winter storm warning, our temperatures in Houston, Pearland, Galveston above freezing right now. In fact, we're about